Hello, welcome back to Ultimate Frisbee Interest Group. Today we're going to be learning about something different on our throws called insides and outsides.
And we're also going to work on what we were talking about last time, forcing your guy in and out. We're going to talk about how you want to do that on defense and how you're going to try to get around that on offense. Let's go.
So with inside and outside is the way you want to get around the defender, but I'm going to show you how to throw this. I'm doing flick, Tyler's doing backhand. So with flick inside is literally you want to go inside the person, flick around. Again, you want to go inside, so you go around. I'm terrible though. We all do this. On the outside, you want to go around the defender and out. So the way it moves in the air is depending on the angle of where you throw it. So if it's a little bit more slanted, I know you have to keep it flat as possible, but the more slant you get, the more it comes out for in. So if I tilt it a little bit more, it's gonna come up and out. Again, in and out.
And then jump vice versa on the inside.
So versus on the inside is gonna be a little bit more flat. 1, 2.
Yeah. Any of those spots?
Yep.
All right, so when you're working on the backhand throws, it's kind of going to be the same thing. It deals with how the Frisbee moves. So if a defender's standing in front of me, if they're forcing me to throw a backhand, different flight patterns on the disc is going to allow me to hit different throws, depending on where the defenders are. So if I'm throwing a backhand, we'll call it a round or an outside in backhand. What that's going to mean is I'm going to throw the disc with this kind of angle, and it's going to fly kind of outside, and I'm going to try to hit Anthony on his right shoulder. So it's going to look like this. Whereas if I throw an inside out backhand, it's going to come towards the right of Anthony, and then, or my right side to the left of Anthony, and then come back and try to hit his left shoulder, and that would look like this. So it just kind of has to do with the flight pattern of the disc. Usually, you're going to want to throw the disc flat, especially if it's like windy conditions like it is outside right now. We were planning on recording this video outside, but the weather was not cooperating. So in windy conditions, you want to try to keep the disc flat. You want to try to keep a lot of spin on it. But in good conditions, when you want to get fancy with your throws, once you've already mastered the regular backhand and the regular flick, you can start to get a little crafty with your throws, and it'll help you hit some different spots. For instance, if a defender is forcing me backhand, right? And then they're playing really good defense downfield, and I have a defender to the left side of Anthony. If I need to get Anthony the disc, my only flight path here, let's grab like that music stand right there. So let's say the defender's standing here, right? You can see that, right? Yeah, you can see that kind of. So let's say they're standing here. Anthony's defender is standing where that music stand is. I can't throw an outside in disc because if I do, it's going to get taken out by that defender right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step outside around my defender and throw an inside backhand to go away from the defender right there. And then if we're going back to a flick, we can just reverse this situation. And I can throw an inside flick here, which is a little bit harder, but with some practice you'll be able to get it. All right, so now we're going to work on setting up your cut. And Anthony's going to explain that to you. I'm going to be the defender. Anthony's on offense. Anthony's trying to go this way with the disc. Pretend that his team is down here throwing this direction.
All right, so usually the people on top of the stack, what we talked earlier, usually cuts first on a usual play. So Tyler has my inside. So usually with a cut, I have 2 options. I can either go out or I can go in. So remind you, the disc is back there. So I can either fake cut up or fake cut down, or I can just do a straight cut. A straight cut would look like this. Tyler's have my thing. So the thrower wouldn't throw that because Tyler's on me. If I want to do a straight inside cut, I would first go out, jab, and go for the inside.
So the whole goal here is you're trying to beat the defender. And if you remember last time, we were talking about forcing your defender a specific direction. So in this situation, because Anthony's going this way, I'm forcing him out. I would generally only do this if I had a big advantage on the guy I'm guarding, or if I know that the person holding the disc can't throw it. In this situation, I feel like I can match up stride for stride with Anthony pretty well, but he has a big height advantage on me and a big reach advantage. I mean, we can just see if the disc goes up, it's going to be hard for me to get the disc over him, even though I've done it plenty of times before. But in this situation, let's say I'm forcing him out. Because I'm forcing him out, generally that's what I don't want him to go in. So Anthony's goal as a defender would, depending on what he's trying to do, come inside on me. So show them how you would try to get under if I'm trying to force you out.
So the first thing I want to do is take my man out, thinking I'm trying to go for a deep cut. So I take him out, dabs up, and come up here. And like in other sports, like football or like even baseball, when you're trying to make hard cuts, you want to jab, close, and cut in really hard. But you want to do like a full sprint to fake the defender. Because if I just do something like, oh, my man's gonna stay on me. He's gonna block.
And notice how when I'm doing this, I'm using my body as the guard to keep Anthony from going under.
Keeping that waist center line.
Even though Frisbee is inherently non-contact, sometimes when you're playing any sport, there's going to be some contact. And so if I wanted to be really aggressive on defense here and try to take away this under, what I would do is I would just stand right here on Anthony. And if he tried to go this way, if he tried to go this way, I'm just going to use my body to block him. I'm forcing him to go out because I don't want to give up a score or give up easy yards. So I'm forcing on my body. Let's show them if I was forcing him under.
So this is taking away the D. So top of the stack. You'll see, yes. So I'm going to try to cut in.
But it's still my job as the defender to contest this throw. I don't want to give up any easy yards.
Yeah, because we want the disc to go as far back or stay back and not move up.
So if Anthony was trying to beat me deep, he would set up his cut under. How would you do
so
that?
I would be on top of the stack. I would put it pointing toward my thrower. So I would be going this way. Same thing. Big tap and go up.
Something that's important to think about as an offender in Frisbee, Anthony, if you want to guard me, if you notice, when we're running through these sets, we're always running away or towards the disc. And the reason is if I make a cut just like straight across the field,
No horizontal cuts.
it's not going to work because what's different about Frisbee than it is, say, football, it's very similar to football in some respects. The football moves very quickly through the air. So you can cut straight across, and if I even have this much room on Anthony, the quarterback can still put it in that small window. The Frisbee, however, it moves so slow that if you're dealing with really small windows like that, it's really hard to fit it in where I can catch it as a defender, but Anthony wouldn't be able to as a defender. So we're always either going to be cutting away from the disc to throw it around Anthony, or to the disc and throw it where Anthony's not. But doing a horizontal cut is just going to get it stopped. I'm actually putting in some like villains film. But yeah. So I think
That's
about it. Yeah. All right, so that's the Ultimate Frisbee Interest Group. We hope you guys enjoyed, and we hope we get to play with you some more. See you later.